Welcome to The Explainer, where we transform research into understanding. So today, we're going to dig into something we've all seen, a kid with a tablet or a phone. But we're going to look at what's really going on behind that screen.
You've seen it, right? A kid completely glued to a screen. And it's easy to wonder about the impact of all that screen time. But what if I told you there's more going on than meets the eye? A couple of recent studies, one from Iran and another one from Australia, suggest that what we're seeing might actually be something totally different. Okay, let's dive in.
So, we're not talking about your typical ABCs or 1, 2, 3s here. This isn't about some formal lesson plan. It's about a whole new kind of learning, and it's happening in a place you might not expect at all. Researchers actually have a name for this: Informal Digital Learning of English, or IDLE for short. And the keywords here are self-directed and informal. This is learning that's totally driven by what the child is interested in, and it's all happening naturally, right at home.
And you know, this digital playground, it is everywhere. A study of Turkish-Australian families found that almost 3/4 of preschool kids are using tablets. And of course, they're also grabbing their parents' phones and using computers. The tools for this kind of learning are definitely within arm's reach.
All right, so if these devices are everywhere, what are kids actually doing on them? Well, it turns out they're just engaging with the pop culture they already know and love.
Just take a look at Hamed, a 6-year-old kid in Iran. He's not just mindlessly playing a game. He is completely immersing himself in English, using really specific words from the game, like corpus and custom, when he's talking about his avatar. That game world has literally become his language classroom.
And it wasn't just Hamed. The Iranian study saw this same pattern popping up all over the place. Kids were picking up English from watching animations about protecting animals, singing classic nursery rhymes, or even just messing around on drawing apps. Their own passions were the doorway to learning.
But here's the thing, and this is really the crucial piece of the puzzle. The device itself isn't the teacher. No, the real magic happens when a parent steps into the picture and becomes a kind of learning coach. I mean, think about it like this. Remember learning how to ride a bike? Your parent didn't just hand you the bike and walk away. They held onto the back of the seat, right? They ran alongside you, giving you just enough support, just enough balance, until suddenly you were pedaling all on your own. Now, academics have a great term for this idea. It's called scaffolding. And it's basically all about that support an adult provides to help a child tackle a new skill that they couldn't quite manage by themselves. It's not about giving them the answer, it's about building a little bridge to help them get there.
Okay, so let's see what this actually looks like in the real world. We're back with 6-year-old Hamed playing Lego Jurassic World, and he uses the game's slang for a velociraptor.
And right there, his mother gently guides him. She connects the very specific game term to the much broader English word. See what she did there? That tiny little question? That's scaffolding in action. It's a small correction that builds a huge bridge in his understanding.
And this kind of coaching happened in all sorts of ways. Sometimes it was asking why questions to get kids to think a little deeper. Other times it was just offering a really simple definition for a new word. Every single one of these interactions is like a tiny micro lesson.
So that raises a big question, right? Why are parents so invested in doing this? Well, that Australian study gives us a really fascinating look into the delicate balancing act that so many of these families face every day.
Get this, in the Turkish-Australian homes they looked at, nearly 80% of families speak mostly Turkish at home. So right away you could see there's a unique challenge here.
So these parents are basically juggling two huge, equally important goals. On one hand, they know their kids need to master English to really thrive and participate in Australian society. But on the other hand, they desperately want to preserve their heritage language, their culture, their identity. And these digital tools, they become a key place where this whole balancing act plays out.
And you know, this can create some very real tension. Parents are worried about their kids being exposed to inappropriate content, asking things like, should a 5-year-old really be watching makeup tutorials? They're constantly trying to find that sweet spot between entertainment and education, and I think that's a challenge a lot of us can relate to.
Okay, so what's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean for us? Well, it's really about completely reframing how we look at the whole idea of screen time.
The key point these studies make so brilliantly is this: it's not about the device. It's never been about the device. It's about the interaction around the device. When you get involved, when you ask questions, when you share that experience with them, you transform what could be passive screen time into an active, social, and powerful learning scene. This research just makes it crystal clear how incredibly vital parents are in this new digital landscape. Which kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. If parents are the coaches, how can we all do a better job of supporting them?